Morning greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us to the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I'm your host for the morning. My name is Bathun Das. I'm from Bangladesh. The Knowledge Seeker associated with IGP. IGP is a social and educational and training institute in serve 35 million plus on 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organizations. The Institute of Global Professional is an education institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to teach one skill just by going formal education. So we provide effective training and generate professional generation all over the world. Distribute our services locally in national, international to student, job seeker, job holder, and also for learners, the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institute from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminar courses, award quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like their own portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and power knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can update all day. Kids learning game website, free course, convert sites, and many more. We help empower you to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement our training program webinar and offline online courses for you to learn by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kinds of skills and promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Free knowledge is crucial for the institute of global professional. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and will serve them with research and practice method. We must have a genuine concept for the learner represent. More diversity, growth and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion and integrity. RGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind do not tag and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next with your continuous support. You already completed 1,893 webinars successfully. Moving to the next with your continuous support. You already completed 1,893 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and well-wisher, at this moment is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can find all our previous activities together with login and details. One strong point is that without an account or login, you cannot enjoy our service. So create your account for once with profile information. Note that with profile information, you will enjoy our feature with mismatched data. You cannot do anything here. From now on, you can participate in 1,000 plus international level quizzes with verified certificate. Teaching tips for teacher, health tips for parents, health tips for team, gamification tools for teacher. You can join IGP alumni. You can check out our tutorial student service website for free and many more. Dear IGP well-wisher, we promised previous but lack of technical issue, we are late sending you on time. This is due to collect the previous condition. We solved all issue from our website. Now I can handle reset password everything. You can check your report for all webinar details. It's a cordial request to take your to check our button and pages on our website. You like and still be benefited. Thank you, but note that without an account or login, you cannot enjoy our service. At present, we have registered our 1,894 webinar, which name is Storytelling, a powerful tool. And today our speaker name is Dr. Nandini. She is from India. Before I hand over this to our speaker, I want to share a very little bit about her. Freelancer, corporate trainer, certified soft skill trainer, certified voice and accent trainer, certified POSH trainer. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation.
Good morning, all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to the IGP audience and well wishers out there. I'm Nandini. and I'm from India. Okay. Before going into the topic today, I would like to start with a small story. Right. The story happened in around 1980s and 1990s, between that time, in a small village in a mountain. Okay. So when I say mountain and when I say a village, there are certain things that is available and not available, facilities available and not available. And talking about the facilities available, obviously it's with the nature, very friendly people, good food, good water, good air, all that. But what is not available? What is not available is no good road facilities, no electricity sometimes, and we have there are no schools. Medical care is very sparse, and people are very less. And people in the mountain, they go to bed very early, and there's unpredictable climate changes. Now, there was a woman who was almost, who was in her ninth month of pregnancy, full stomach and stuff. And her worries would have been the same thing, right? She would have worried about what if I have delivery pains when it is raining, when it is in the night, when there is no birth service. What if the doctor is not there in the primary health center that is here? And thing is, she was alone, only with her mother-in-law, and her husband was working somewhere in the city. So on a rainy evening, all her fears became true. She started having pains, and the mother-in-law started to panic because it was raining, the power was off, and the primary health center didn't have a doctor. There was only a nurse, and so like what they do in the village, they used the resources they had, and she delivered a healthy girl child. Now, this woman was the first daughter-in-law of the family, so the child was so special to the whole family. So special, they nurtured her, they raised her, and lots of love was poured onto her. Now, the child started growing, and she started going to school. The mother was so happy, very happy, and all that, and uh, very bubbly girl and all that. And after some time, the mother started seeing some changes with the child. I mean, like that was very noticeable only then. She was not very active in studies. She was kind of lethargic, very slow in reacting to things. And it was worrisome to the mother. Like, obviously, right? When your child is not very enthusiastic, not first rank, but at least should have good grades, right? The comprehensive capacity should be proper. But this was kind of very dull with the child. And the mother got worried and she went and talked to the school. And the school principal said, "Oh, please don't worry. She's still a child. She has lots of time to grow into a nice woman. So no problem. Let's not worry about it." So the mother was like, "Okay." Now this girl was not very proactive. She was not very outcoming. She was very quiet. She wanted to stay unnoticeable in the crowd. She was just existing. Nothing special about her. Few years went by, and there was a new principal who came to the same school. When somebody comes new to the school, right, what do they do? They try to change things. They try to implement new stuff and all that. No, just to get onto the good books of the whole management and stuff. And this is what happened to this person also. He brought in a lot of changes. He wanted to change the whole scenario of how the school worked and everything. And suddenly one day, the school peon came to the classroom where this girl was sitting and said, "Excuse me, ma'am, the principal wants to meet this child." Now, as a child, when somebody comes and tells to you that the principal wants to meet you, you start sweating. You're worried. Oh my God, what is this man going to tell? What mistake did I do? All that is going on in this girl's head now. So she slowly walked to the principal's room, and as she was nearing the room, she saw 4 or 5 people standing over there. She's like, "Oh my God, finally, I'm not going to be reprimanded alone. I have a team. It's like it's going to be shared. So no, let's not worry about it." Now, all these children, they all were worried, having the same worries. And they thought that we are going to get nice thrashings. So they went to the principal's office. Instead of thrashings, the principal gave them a A4 sheet paper. And on the paper, there was a poem written by Wordsworth. Now, Wordsworth is a very romantic poet. Okay, everything is very ordered, structured, and it's very beautiful poems. The poem had 6 stanzas, and each stanza for each child. He said, the principal said, "Okay, I'm going to give you a month's time. You need to get it into your head. You need to by heart this poem. You need to be able to recite it articulated. It should be very nice, like a song. Okay, like a recital, proper recital." Now, all these children, if you had noticed, they were all a bit dull children. They weren't coming up front. So this principal wanted to bring them up front. That was his main agenda. So thus started the ordeal of every day during lunch, they had to finish a fast, go to the principal's room and recite that one stanza of theirs. It wasn't easy for these children, okay? It took them some time, a lot of scoldings, a lot of beatings. Sometimes they just got bored, no? 1 month, whole month doing the whole thing, and one person doesn't come, the whole thing has to be done again and again. So it was a big ordeal. And suddenly one day the principal said, "Oh, guys, come, let's go and practice it in front of the mic. Let's go to the auditorium and practice it in front of the mic." So they all went, okay, happily they all went, and they're standing there, and they thought, okay, let's do this. As they were reaching the auditorium, there was a lot of commotion. They were wondering who's there. And they go into the auditorium, the whole school is standing there. Whole school, literally, all the teachers, all the students. Now, these children started getting stage fear. They didn't want to do it. It was so scary. They've never done it in front of a big audience, such big audience. So, but the principal was standing at the doorway, giving a stare. Go fast, do it. He was telling her like that. And the first person was our girl. She said, "Okay, I'm the first person. Let me go, start it, finish it, 6 minutes, 6 lines, let me come off." So she went, recited the whole, the first stanza and just came off. After her, none of her friends could do it. They all stood there frozen. They couldn't move at all. Not a single word came out of their mouth, and the principal was staring. If I was in such a situation, you know what I would do? I would go and like, "Okay, Chodha, let's get this show done. Yeah, let me do the whole thing." So she did the whole poem. That's what she did. She recited the whole poem with ups and downs and very nice, like a songbird. And after that, it was a minute of pin drop silence. And then came the whole commotion. Everybody started clapping. That was the breaking point. I mean, like, in her life, that was the first time she ever had an applause. Some people appreciated for what she could really do. People understood. I mean, like, there was somebody who listened to her. And from then on, the journey was always upwards. Okay, she went on. She went on to become a national athlete. She went on to study, like, got 2-3 degrees, got a PhD. She's running her own business, and she can hold her audience. She can hold an audience of 150, 100, 200 people at a time. Inspired children, everything. And this girl is very important to me. This girl here is very, very important person to me, because I am she. I am that girl who got her first applause after so long time. Okay, now this is how I usually start my trainings. Okay, because this is a type of storytelling I learned from my mentor. How to introduce yourself, how to make it impactful. I know it is a lengthy story, but still, because this is a storytelling webinar, I just wanted to make it a bit more longer. We'll give it fewer instances. So the thing behind the story is it takes you to that place, to that era, to that time. It gives you visuals where you imagine. Okay, so this is storytelling, and let's get into the whole concept of storytelling as a powerful tool. It can be anything, anywhere it is used as a powerful tool. In parenting, teaching, in training, in your office, while you're managing your trainees, while you're managing your subordinates in office, everywhere stories can be used as a very powerful tool. And there is an art to tell a story. Not everybody can tell a story. You need to know how to articulate it. You need to know how to bring it. There is so much that goes behind storytelling. But why storytelling? Why stories? Why? I will challenge you after today, after this 1 hour with me. You might not remember the topic. You might not remember what concepts I said. You might not even remember my name. But the story just that I told you now will stick with you for a long time, because that is the power of stories. That is the power of telling a captivating story. So that is why storytelling is very important in all aspects of life. And obviously, all of us have an inner child, and children are captivated by stories. They love stories. That's how they widen their imagination. So storytelling is an art, it's an essential art which can be used in all aspects of our day-to-day life as well. Now, the important and most beautiful thing behind the storytelling is a lot of science is there. There's a lot of science happening. Right. Now, you might think, what is this girl talking about neuroscience and stories? Let me explain to you. Now, we all know the brain is a very complex part of a body. Still, we haven't uncovered a lot of things that the brain can do. Okay, so how does stories help with your brain activity? How does it impact your brain? Let me tell you. Now, when somebody is engaged in a very compelling story, a lot of parts of the brain are activated. Even if you go and sit in an MRI, you'll know what a lot of lights going on in parts of the brain when you're telling a story. These parts, right, they are associated with so many centers. One is your language processing center, one is your sensory experiences, and then motor responses. All right. Now, when all these parts are firing, a lot of substance are being released into the brain, into the body. They're called neurotransmitters. The best, they are like dopamine, oxytocin, cortisol. Okay, these are all very biological terms, but let me tell you what is where these hormones or where these transmitters are involved in. Okay, right now, basically, this dopamine is released when there is something very rewarding stimuli or encouraging happens. And oxytocin is like a bonding hormone. Obviously, right? When there's a social bonding, when there is trust, when there's positive interactions, oxytocin is transmitted, released. And cortisol is for attention, and when there's a lot of arousal and all is happening. So these are all very essential things. These are all connected to the emotions that we feel, right? So this makes us a very empathetic person, makes us alive. So stories makes a person alive, and this is all science. And when there is when the stories are crafted perfectly, well crafted and narrated with a lot of strong emotional connection happens with the story and the audience. There's one more thing called mirror neurons that are activated. Now, mirror, when you look into a mirror, you see yourself, right? So what happens is when a teller is telling a story, you start mirroring the emotions that are being told in the story. So these hormones, nowhere ever we are going to fire our mirror neurons. Only when you are watching a movie or when you're listening to a story, when you're listening, when you're hearing, all these things, only then, when you need to mirror an emotion, these mirror neurons are fired. This fosters empathy and a lot of deeper understanding narratives. Then memory retention. So when we study, when children, they relate and study. Then there's nothing but putting it into a storyboard. And this retains memory. There's a lot of cognitive processing happens, like where there we have a problem solving happens, where like perceptions takes place, a lot of attention, all these things, all these information is processed, and the story will facilitate a profound understanding of certain things. Okay, then comes impacted decision. Stories actually give you a wider area to think on, and it gives shape to your perceptions. It gives power to inspire, guide individuals towards specific outcomes. So this is how stories impact, and this is how impact brain activity. Okay, that's how brain activity is impacted. Now, talking about social engagement. How can a story evoke emotions? Okay, now let me tell you a story. There was a forest, a big forest. Okay, in that forest, all animals were living harmoniously. They were living harmoniously. Obviously, a forest will have predators as well as the prey. Now, if they were living harmoniously, how will they feed? Now, there was a rule in that jungle. It was like all the carnivores can hunt the herbivores only for food, but not for game. Now, that being the condition, there was harmony because the prey also knew, okay, there was no hard feelings. The prey also knew what was going to happen. Sometimes a lion or tiger is going to come and hit you and going to eat you. But that was fine. Okay. So, this being the condition, one fine day in the middle of the forest, there was a lot of commotion going on. Lots of animals were standing in a big circle around something and they were all talking. They were talking. When what was happening in the middle was there was a donkey and a tiger. Now, this donkey and tiger were in a very heated argument. The argument was, what was the color of grass? Easy, right? What is the color of grass? Now, the donkey was saying the color of grass is blue. The tiger was saying the color of grass is green. The donkey, being a very talkative animal, was cackling around, going on, making fun of this tiger, telling that you are a tiger, what is the use? You don't have brain. What is the use of being a big animal, being a feared animal, and all? You're being majestic animal. Nothing. They have no brains at all. You have no brains at all. Don't you know the color of grass is blue? Now the tiger, because there was a rule in jungle, was so angry, but he couldn't hit the donkey. He was fuming through his ears, his nose, the eyes were blaring red. He was so angry, he was roaring. There was a lot of commotion. The donkey's cackle was heard everywhere around the forest, and the tiger was so angry. Finally, they came to a consensus that let's go and talk to the king of the jungle. Now, who's the king of the jungle? Lion. The lion is sitting there on a podium and quietly watching these two walk towards it. Even while walking, the donkey is like going, ha ha ha. For example, the Shrek in that movie, that in the Shrek movie, there's a donkey. that dog. Oh, they're talking, and all cackling around. Now, the lion was very quiet, very composed, and looking at them. And when they came, they presented their case, telling the donkey, said, great lord, my dear king, this fellow was saying the color of grass is green, but don't we all know the color of grass is blue? Now, the lion didn't say anything. The donkey went on talking. The lion rose up and started walking around these two. The tiger was again furious. He was roaring, fuming, blaring, and showing gnawing teeth and all that was open out in the front. And he was saying, he lost his patience and he said, my dear king, you be the judge and tell us what is the color of grass. If it is blue, or if you say the donkey is right, I will accept any of your punishment. Anything. You can punish me anyway. Now the lion stood in front of these both and said, yes, The color of grass is blue. Donkey, what you said is correct. You may leave. Now the tiger was crestfallen, so sad, right? He didn't know what to say. He all his bravery was out. I mean, like, he was so dejected. And he said, okay, fine, king. I don't know what has gotten into you today. We all know the color of grass is green, but you still said the color of grass is blue. So I will accept any punishment you take. The donkey, the tiger, the lion said, you are not going to talk for the next month. You are not going to open your mouth and utter a word for the next month. This baffled the tiger. He's like, why? What's wrong? Why? He said, see, the punishment is not because you got the color of the grass wrong. The punishment is because you didn't know your place. You didn't know where to get angry and whom you have to direct your anger. Also, you didn't know on whom you're going to spend your time judiciously. You stood there wasting so much time talking to a donkey who was giving a foolish concept like the grass is blue. Is this a topic to fight on, or is the donkey an equal person for you to actually spend your time on? This you need to realize, and that's why you have a punishment of not talking for a month. That was a story. This story evokes a lot of emotions, right? We think, okay, funny story. Okay, what is the learning that we are going to get here? All these things. But we have a lot of emotions that went into it. We have a lot of thought process that got into it. Right? So this story, such a story, or such kinds of stories will actually make you connect to your characters there. This story, or the story that I told about myself, when I said there was this woman who was pregnant 9 months, and a lot of fear she had. Obviously, so oh my god, she's full pregnant, full term, and there's nobody with her. What if she falls down? What if it's raining? What will she do? She gets pain in the middle of the night. All sorts of thoughts should have gone into our heads. So this is brought in by stories. We connect with the story. Now, stories do have educational value, obviously. Yeah. This storytelling is used as a pedagogical tool, like how you frame your lessons in school. For teachers, teachers can use storytelling as a very powerful teaching methodology to teach their subjects, as well as they can teach moral concepts. Okay, one such story is this lion and the tiger and the donkey story, where we can teach, where children can be taught how not to waste their time on unimportant things, how to delegate their time, and how to channelize their anger or pleasure towards the right person or the right thing. Right? That is one thing. Maybe it's a heavy subject, but there is another way we can do it. For example, I will say a small story. Let's see if we can connect it between learning and all this. Okay. There was a baker, and he was baking a loaf of bread one day. Now, the baker started using, for the bakery, he started using wheat from a nice source. He added a pinch of salt to it. He added condiments. He added a lot of herbs to it. Then he added chocolate chips to it, some dried fruits to it, and he started kneading them together slowly. Okay. And once he did it, he placed a cloth over it and let it rest for some time. After some time, he took out the bread loaf, put it in an oven, and it had the right temperature, it had the right humidity inside it, it had the right everything, and the bread, it started baking. Once it started baking, there was a sweet aroma that came out of the oven. After some time, the baker came, he took it out, and he saw the bread was perfectly crisp on the outside, soft on the inside. There was a nice brown color that was developed on the bread loaf, and all the chocolate chips had melted and they were into the bread. It was so nice. He took a bread knife, cut it, and made a nice sandwich. And he ate it. It was so nice, so rewarding. Now, this is a small example of how you can tell a story where it's not a story, it's just a small incident of how to bake a cake, bake a bread. But you can actually relate it to the protein synthesis in your body. The same thing. It's the same thing. How protein is synthesized in the body. If you have science people out there, relating these stories, relating this. Now, the child will start imagining how the mitochondria is a protein synthesis center of the. It's a powerhouse of the cell. Okay, that's where the protein is synthesized. So mitochondria is there, and it moves like the bread conveyor. How it goes, step by step. How the baker adds these things, mixes everything. The whole process is the same. You just need to relate it to a bread baking a bread, and tell it to the children. They will imagine it, visualize the story, and the mitochondria will become 2 loaves of bread and carrying all the things, and how he adds all these things. No, there also your amino acids enter, your life, everything enters, and it's all mixed, and it waits as in the baking time. And finally, once it moves out of certain place, there's a protein. Same way, the protein is the power of the body, so the bread is also energy to the body, so he eats it. So all it's just relating things. Okay, it's relating things. So when you tell something that the children can relate to, or mostly food is something everybody can relate to, everybody loves eating. And when you talk about something like this, or maybe even ice cream making or something like that, children, they will remember it easily. That's where retention and understanding information comes in. Okay, so educational value is also there. All this you've told us now, right? We are ready with the story. But how do you tell a story? There are lots of storytelling techniques. Okay, right? It's like how you go and stand at a lake and try to fish. What do you do when you go to a lake and try to fish? You sit in you are ready with everything. You have your fishing rod. There's a small hook there. You have small worms for the fish, or something, food or something for the fish, and you have to be patient. Okay, you cannot develop a story hastily. I'll tell you why. The reason behind that is, when you start telling a story, your mind will start making up different scenarios for the story. So, you will not reach where you wanted to reach at the end of a story. So, always have patience, let it take its own turn. Okay. Now, what do we do when you go fish? You get everything ready, you put the hook, you put a small worm or a food on the hook, and you throw it. All right? Same thing is with a story. You have to have a compelling hook. The first 3 seconds, 4 seconds should make your audience hooked to your story. It can be you have to bring in, you have to add that pinch of suspense. You have to bring in the suspense somehow or something. I'll tell you a very relatable example of this. Right? I do not know how many of you know this Nirma advertisement. Nirma is a washing powder which was available in the 1970s or something in India. It goes like this. Washing powder Nirma, washing powder Nirma. The song goes like that. Okay. Now, this might sound funny, but there was a girl, she used to come and twirl in the advertisement. It goes like, washing powder Nirma, washing powder Nirma. It goes. It has stayed with me for all these years. That I don't know if the company is still alive, or if the ad is still available on YouTube or something, but that is how you captivate your audience. You keep them anywhere. The starting music will tell you what advertisement is going to come, And the moment we walk into any store and there's a Nirma packet, the moment you see that, it triggers that sound. Washing powder, Nirma, song goes on. Right? How many of you have related to this Colgate advertisement? आपका toothpaste में नमक है? नहीं, right? Is there salt in your toothpaste? Some heroine will jump out of the mirror and come and talk to this person, protagonist in the advertisement. So this is how you captivate. You need to have a compelling hook to the story. Right. Then comes your characters. While you're telling a story, you need to give shape to your characters. You need to give them a defined structure. You just can't have multiple people into the story. You just can't have a lot of characters into the story. It has to be well defined. There should not be any ambiguity. There should not be any talk where, why is this character coming in the story? Now, every person, if you are going to talk about a character, then they should have some purpose in the story. Otherwise, do not bring in such characters. Do not bring in backdrop dancers or walkers on the street. Don't do that. When you're telling a story, visual effect is different. Right? Then bring the vivid setting. When you're trying to tell a story, you should take some time to explain how the setting is so that whoever is listening will transport to that point. Okay. And dialogue is a part of a story, or somehow it's a small tool in a storytelling. So if no dialogue, it's fine. If you're going to, it's only going to be narrative way, it's fine. But it should have a conflict and a tension. Without a twist in the plot, without a plot or a twist, the story will not. It's just an incident rather than a story. It's just a fact. Okay. Then comes your show and tell. If you have props, you can bring in masks, you can bring in properties, you can bring in puppets, all these things. But don't tell why they are. Okay. You need to always keep the audience wondering what it is going to be. Okay. You can bring in flashbacks or flash forwards or something. All these are small concepts. Try to bring in metaphors, symbols. Metaphors, they will tell the story for you. Excuse me. You need not really fret on it. You need not really worry about it. They will tell the story for you. Then comes pacing. If you need to give a pause, give a pause. Then do that. And finally, repetition on emphasis of what you want to say, and finally give it a memorable ending. It need not always be a positive ending. Okay. So this is a technique. This is how you build a story from anything. All right. Now, let's understand something. Stories are not only for children. Stories are for adults too. And I use stories for corporate trainings, workshops, a lot of skill acquisition in the workplace and all that. How do you do that? How do we bring storytelling in the workplace? It's called say, for example, you're talking on data. There's a lot of data crunching happening and all that. How do you put it in a storybook? You do that by giving it the same, like a story. A project has an end and a starting or an inquisitive. Then it flows through a process. In this process, there's always a hindrance or a twist, like a story, like a plot. Okay. Then you will fight. You will have a lot of people, the protagonist, your team, everybody will start fighting to solve that problem. Just like a story, how the hero fights all the villains there, all the ups and downs, all the plots, how he comes out of it. And finally, he emerges out triumphantly. Right? So the same thing, you can use it when you're talking about data, or when you're presenting a project, presentation to a whole team and all that. Okay. Then as team managers, as team leads, we can talk about lot of personal experiences when we are inspiring our team members. When you're inspiring the team members, we can talk about a lot of personal experiences. We can talk about how you dealt with such problems, all that thing, when you're talking to your team members. This will give them a personal connection with you. So, very important. Storytelling is very important. It can be blended into a corporate training. It can be blended into your you're managing your trainees, you're managing your subordinates also. Let me tell you a story here. Okay, this is one of the stories I always tell my trainees when I am I have a behavioral skills trainer, so I do this. I talk about behavioral skills and behaviors especially. So this story is about Japan. Japan is geographically it is an island, so it has a lot of it's surrounded by water on all sides. So the staple food of the Japanese is fish, and they do not settle for any par below food. The fish has to be fresh for them, and they eat raw fish. They have sushi. Sushi is their favorite food. So they're very, very, very particular about the freshness of their fish. Now, fishermen used to fish around, there's a small belt around Japan, so they fish there and they bring it back to the shore and they cook and they eat. Okay. Now, as the population of Japan grew, the demand for fish grew. So when the demand grows, you have to supply, you have to meet it with the supply. So what happened? The smaller belt was not enough to fish. The fish was not enough. So what they did, they moved away. They moved further away into the sea. Now, when initially they used catamarans or rowboats. Now, catamarans and rowboats weren't fast enough to bring the fish back to the shore fresh. So they shifted to, they morphed for or metamorphosized into motorboats. Now, motorboats went, but they brought it back. The fish went, still the fish went stale. So the next thing all these fishing companies of boat people, they thought was, let's bring it in ice boxes. So they got caught fish, put them in ice boxes and brought it to the shore. But the people didn't like it. They said, it's not fresh enough. We cannot eat this. Now they started thinking, what else can we do? They said, okay, let's farm fish. Let's artificially farm fish on the land. No, why do we need to go so much? So they tried that, but this also the people didn't like. They said, oh, no, this doesn't taste as it used to taste. No, we can't eat this. Now they were like breaking their heads, what to do. So now the fishing boat has become a big ship. They said, okay, let's bring live fish to the shore. So they bought a big ship with lots of tankers filled with seawater. They caught the fish, put it into the tanks, and they brought it to the shore. Still, the people of Japan told, no, it doesn't taste nice. Now this person, the fishing company person, he was like, oh my God, how much should I invest, man? I cannot really take these people, build a restaurant in the middle of the sea and take them and cook, let them eat fresh fish. No, this is not possible. So then he came up with an idea after thinking for a long time. He said to his workers, you catch fish, you put them into the tank. Catch a shark, put a shark into the tank. Now, all these workers were wondering, oh my God, why is boss telling us to catch a shark and put it into the tanks and bring it back? They were wondering, but still they did it because it was an order. They did it. So they brought the fish back to the shore, and now the fish tasted as it should taste to their likeness, Japanese likeness. Now, the workers are all very happy and confused. What did we just put a shark there? So they all went to the boss and they asked, like, why did you ask us to put a shark? Now the people are happy. We are happy that people are happy. But why did you ask us to put a shark into the tank? He said, no, yeah. Your thoughts would have been, when you put a shark, the fish, it will eat all the fish. There will not be any fish left for the people. But see, apex predators, they don't kill for fun. They kill only when they are hungry. Okay. So shark being an apex predator, it doesn't kill when it is not hungry. When it is full, it stops. But the fish don't know that. So when a fish is there, when a shark is there in the tank, it will start moving around so that it saves its life. Now that is how a fish is usually in the sea. That is how it is like in its natural habitat. Okay. So when a fish lives as if when a fish does what it is supposed to do only, it will taste good. It functions properly, it tastes good. Otherwise, it is a bland thing. Bland. It doesn't taste as it's supposed to taste. Now, the story ends there. This is a true story. The story ends there. But what is the learning that we get from the story? When a person doesn't, when a person is when a person is not active, when he does not be proactive, he's a stagnant person. He stinks. There's nothing special about the person. But when a person always challenges himself to be better, that's when he shines. So this is how you can inspire your subordinates in an office, telling stories, small stories. Be the shark. Or find a shark in your tank so that you shine. You should always have competition. Without competition, the person, a human being, becomes blunt, flavorless, stagnant. When there is competition only, they start shining, because that's when they start showing their true potential. So this is how we can bring stories in workplace. Now, now it is like more of interactive storytelling that's happening now. One is corporate trainings happen with storytellings. Children, there's a lot of interactive storytellings happening. You can bring, there are techniques of storytellings that we can use, like story cascade. Like one person starts a story, prompt it, the next person continues, and finally, at the end of the story, it is not what the first person wanted. It can be anything. So this actually can give you a perspective into what is going on to the next person's head. This is a nice exercise to open up your creativity and let the juices flowing. Okay, so that's how interactive storytelling happens in school. In school, what we can do, what teachers can do is, they can just show a picture, like here. They can just show a picture and then ask the students to develop a story from it. It can be a 4-line story, 5-line story, anything. These tools, this will enable them to write something on their own, think on their own, or you can give them something like, give it a better ending. How will you end the story? What if? Okay, so that is how we do it with children also. Right. Now, what are the challenges we face during what are the challenges we face while using stories for education? Any idea? Right. Everybody will have a different perspective, variances. Then we have cultural differences. We have different interests, learning styles. Then there is a cultural sensitivity, as I said, no? Unfamiliar. When the story is very unfamiliar, we'll not be able to relate to it. There are a lot of time constraints when you tell a story. So you need to plan a story beforehand. Then story is all narrative-based learning. So there are not assessment levels here unless it's only creative assessment, right? So there are outcomes may require different type of innovative assessment strategies. So you have to plan everything beforehand. Then, as I said, today's world is actually shorts world. Only you cannot watch content or cannot listen to a story more than 30 seconds, 40 seconds. So the attention span has become very less now. So how do you fit a story into the whole thing? It's very difficult, right? So the attention span is difficult. Next, there is this balance of entertainment and education. How do you balance these both? How do you balance this? You will not know. You see, storytellers are we are also like, we have a lot of creative juices flowing into our head. Okay, so we always there might be a chance we stray away from what is the main intention of the story, right? Then we have limited resources. When in today's world, physical storytelling is a concept, but there's a lot of advancement in storytelling techniques as well, right? Multimedia rich stories. We have VR has come into it, high quality has come. Everything we want everything in HD quality, and the resource has to be very intensive. Now, this can teller. You can actually do a lot of things, but with the education institutions, this is not possible. How many visual aids can you bring in? So that is also there. Then comes the age appropriateness. We need to understand this is again. So even a story which was meant for adults can be told to the youngsters. You just need to edit it places. You need to blunt it at places. And you can tell a story which was there which you usually tell it to a youngster, for a small children, you can tell it to adults. You have to add them. So you have to make it age appropriate. And finally, not a lot of people are trained into tellers. Let's understand something. Storytelling is a very, very, very technical concept. Not everybody can be a storyteller. You need to have the passion first. You need to have that is very important, and you need to have then everything can happen. You can actually equip yourself. You can actually add armors to yourself. You can learn the art of storytelling. Okay, right. Now coming to the future emerging trends in storytelling, it's virtual reality. One thing, it's a lot of animation happening, and everybody is into technology now. So, as I said, no, stories have to be bite-sized if you want to deliver stories. So you need to have a lot of stories in storage to deliver what you want to deliver. This is very challenging now, the future, but it can be learned. You can do it. It can be understood. You can equip yourself with all these things. Okay. So with that, I'm going to end today's session. I'm going to end today's session with a story. Okay. This story happened in the Middle East. Okay. There was a merchant. He was a rich merchant. He had and his hobby was collecting camels, like how some people here have horses, no? He collects camels. So that day, he went to a market where they were selling camels. He walked into the market and he found he was looking around camels, and he found a very handsome camel. So nice and so majestic it was. He fell in love with the camel in first sight. And what happened? He went and he talked to the person who was selling the camel. They had this, they do not under the covers, put a towel and they did this and all that. And they finalized on a price, and he happily paid the money and brought his camel back to his house. Now he has a person who looks after camels, the person who maintains the stables. He was also a very loyal person, and he wanted the best camels, best treatment to all the camels for his master. So what he did, he was also happy when he saw his master, the merchant, bringing a very beautiful camel home. So what he said, "Oh, master, wonderful! I think you got a nice bargain. It's a nice, lovely camel, nice, healthy, looks very handsome and stuff." He said, "Yeah, I know. Go put him in the stable." So this fellow took the camel there and wanted to wash and groom him and put him. Okay. So when he was removing all the stirrups and all that thing, suddenly there was a pouch fell from the camel's the place that you sit. He wondered and opened it and saw the pouch had some 10 diamonds in it. This guy was like, "Wow, our master is very, very lucky. He got a camel and a pouch full of diamonds." But he still ran to his master and said, "Master, look, the camel came with a pouch of diamonds." Now the merchant got worried. He said, like, "Oh my God, this is not mine. We should return it to him. Poor fellow, he may be searching for it." He said, "No, why are you doing this? Nobody knows. The fellow who sold you the camel will not know where he put the pouch, so he will also not worry about it. Just go. No, profit. Let's be happy with this." But the merchant said, no, I need to return to this. He took the pouch. He said, you go and do your work. Let me do what I want to do. So he walked fast to the market, but nobody was there in the market. Everybody had dispersed. So he took some time, put a lot of effort, and found this fellow who sold him the camel. And he went and knocked on the door. And when that fellow who sold opened the door, he was worried. Oh my God, no, what is this? Why is this person standing here? Is there some problem with the camel? He said, look, sir, I sold you the camel. After this, there's no talk. It doesn't come with the warranty. The merchant laughed and said, no, I'm not coming here to return the camel to you. But when we were trying to clean the camel and put him in his place, there was a pouch fell. Now the merchant only then, the fellow who sold the camel only then realized that his pouch of diamonds was missing. All this was shown in his face. No, all expression, all expression. First, a lot of curiosity, then realization, oh my God. Then came suspicion. Okay, this fellow is returning the pouch to me. Let me check. Did he try to pocket some diamonds from it? So he took the pouch from him and he opened it fast. And he saw like, okay. Then the merchant saw all these things. He said, okay, I think there were 10 diamonds. And if you count, there are still 10 diamonds in the pouch. The fellow, the market person, he put the diamonds on his hand and he counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. He said, no, sir, 2 diamonds are missing. Now the merchant got worried. He didn't do anything. He got worried had his servant took it or had he missed it somewhere. He was so worried. He was so crestfallen and he felt so bad. He didn't know what to do really. So he said, no, sir, no. I have returned the whole thing. I have brought the pouch as such. I think there are 10 diamonds. Still, the market person, the camel vendor, he said, no, there are 2 diamonds missing. Now, the merchant was so very dejected. He felt, okay, fine. Can you tell me the price? I will pay it. Now, that's when this guy smiled and said, no, okay, I cannot buy this from you. I cannot take this from you because that is integrity and honesty. The 2 diamonds that are missing from this pouch are integrity and honesty. I lacked it. I actually doubted those, but you still have them and I cannot take them away from you. I'm very sorry. Okay, so this is how, that is the power of stories. Thank you all for this opportunity. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your rich presentation, which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our own intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your presentation. Now it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we will be back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Ma'am, our first question is from Bhalmuraga. When is storytelling is harmful instead of powerful tool?
Storytelling can be harmful when the content is towards a negative thought, or when you're going to equip your children or the adults when it is not age appropriate.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. Ma'am, our next question is from Jagadish. How to use the concept of storytelling when we are delivering the technical presentation in the age of artificial intelligence?
Technical presentations, the process, what do I say? Try to relate it to something your audience already know. Try to relate it to certain, for example, movies, or movies are the best medium to relate when you're talking about artificial intelligence, and bring in the characters and try to explain the process, the whole thing, as if that particular does the whole thing. Okay, and see, the whole process you can convert it into a story. It's just, as I said, the story has three things. It has to have a introduction or setting. It has to have a protagonist. It has to have a antagonist, a twisted turn, and then it has to have an outcome. So any project or process will have all these things. You have to try and use your imagination, or take anecdotes from some movie or so. For example, Terminator 1, 2, 3, or you can say those movies, no? Will Smith's movie and all that. Those movies you can bring in, and then you can actually bring it like that. Yeah, Jagdish, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. Ma'am, our next question is from Kingway. Ma'am, should storytelling age appreciated?
It should be age appropriate. Yes, it's very important that it's age appropriate. First thing, there's a point of comprehension. How do children comprehend to certain things, values, concepts of life? And adults, when they think, they do relate to the children's stories, but make it age appropriate so that it is not perceived in the wrong manner.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. Ma'am, there is no more questions from our participants. So once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topic. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new day. Thank you, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you. Have a lovely day, all of you. Thank you.
Honorable ma'am, before we move to the next, if you want to leave this studio, you can.
Sorry, I didn't get it. No?
Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, time for the webinar certification. This is the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will list our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please, it's time for the webinar certification. This is the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will list our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a learning session and get enrolled. After watching complete part 1, move to the next video learning test and passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course setting to download your certificate. If failed to retake the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I am going to share the procedure again. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a learning session and get enrolled. After watching complete part 1, move to the next with the learning test passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed to retake the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear Ajip and our is time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. For some technical problem, we cannot continue the quiz session from our website. So, to join the quiz session, you have to go www.slido.com and the code is 3591693. I repeat the code 3591693. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. Question is, which trope is a powerful tool that authors use to enhance their storytelling? Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 67% people are right here. Our second question is, storytelling is a common resource and powerful tool to teach English as a foreign language to very young children. Is it true or false? Option 1 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Our third question is, at what that shows the events in a story illustration can be powerful storytelling tool. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Fourth question is, storytelling is a powerful business tool dash companies should use stories to sell their product. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 50% people are right here. Our fifth question is, storytelling can be a powerful tool based off both personal experience and student success. Is it true or false? Option 1 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Our sixth question is, which technique according to Rogers is a powerful tool for storytelling though level design? Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 71% people are right here. Our seventh question is, a powerful goal of storytelling is option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Our eighth question is, storytelling is a not powerful creating a strategy. Is it true or false? Option 2 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Our second last question of the session is, which translation company became a powerful tool for US economic imperialism in the late 4800s and early 1900s? Option 2 is the right answer. 62% people are right here. Our last and final question of the session is, the dish make multimedia a powerful connection tool. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 83% people are right here. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in our top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our official Facebook page and from Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our official Facebook page and from Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in our top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz community certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy as to stay. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to a goal, not the people or things. Albert Einstein. Before I say, hit the other button. Again, want to thank all our GP knowledge seekers for your active participation as always. See you again next. Thank you.